Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Jeremy Scott Fitness Podcast or radio show, coming to you on this Saturday, July the 11th, 2020. Hopefully it finds you staying safe and staying sweaty all at the same time. And to all my peeps on YouTube who are watching, welcome. Thank you guys for watching me ramble on, as always. And again, if you guys are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, those of you on just the podcast, it's Jeremy Scott Fitness on YouTube. We have I think 1,300 videos now. All the fitness stuff you see, plus a ton more that we don't share on the other platforms. Everything that goes on, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, Tumblr, IG, Facebook, you name it. All the recipes we do, all the podcasts obviously are now on there. And we're just pumping out a ton of stuff there. I guess it's, our free gift to you guys, just like the podcast. So before I dig into today's episode, which we're going to title Be Water. This episode is brought to you by my homies over at Arbor Threads. Now, if you guys are on Instagram and you watch what we do, I did a kind of 9-move mobility flow the other day, rocking this blue Arbor Threads t-shirt. In fact, I think I can have them behind me here on my desk. This is a green one, so if you guys are watching on YouTube, you can see this. It's this green Arbor Threads t-shirt. It's a nice, high quality workout t-shirt. And it's not, like if you work out in a cotton shirt or like a cotton tank top, it ends up smelling like, a musty crotch or like dirty armpits after probably like 3 weeks. And the smell and the stains never really go away. So the shirts that Arbor Threads are making are the ones that are, similar you get at any other high quality manufacturer that makes a shirt you can sweat in, it dries quick, and then doesn't smell, like yesterday's hot garbage, even after you wear it for a year. And the reason I bring that up is because they obviously sponsor the podcast here, and we work with them to share their stuff, obviously, on IG. And it's not just a normal clothing company. I've done that stuff in the past with, Reebok and Under Armour and Nike, these guys, and I'm thankful for all the partnerships. But Arbor Threads is a little bit different because they have 8 plastic water bottles in each shirt. And those of you listening, well, Jimmy, what the hell are you talking about? Their products are made of 100% recycled plastic materials and recycled cotton, meaning that they are as good for the environment as they feel. Every shirt purchased is 8 plastic water bottles, and over 12 pounds of carbon dioxide are removed from the environment as compared to just buying a traditional shirt. That is how they're manufacturing these shirts, which is pretty badass. And the bonus on top of that, if that wasn't gangster enough, every time you guys buy a shirt from arborthreads.com, they will plant a tree. They're trying to help the environment. They're trying to help all of us, dirty, nasty humans who just move places, consume stuff, and build shit and leave trash and garbage. They're trying to clean up after us. So, arborthreads.com, thank you guys. I appreciate the shirts. It's nice. I will wear them as a run, as a jog, as I do yard work, or as I'm just working out and, having some body butter drip out of my body. It will keep me smelling not like a dumpster. So, appreciate you guys. So with that said, today's podcast, we are talking about water, how important it is, the role it plays in our lives, the effects of it. I'm going to share some facts with you guys, what dehydration does to us as well, and how to hopefully avoid it. Again, a lot of this is basic stuff, but some of these facts you might not, and just to understand the role that water plays, and even increased, fat oxidation and things that can help you not just feel better, but hopefully look better and move better and just be healthier overall. That's what we do here, help you be healthy. So before I jump into the podcast, we're going to title Be Water, my friends. I'm going to share a quote here. And the quote is, empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Put water into a cup, becomes the cup. Put water into a teapot, becomes the teapot. Water can flow or creep or drip or crash. Be water, my friend. End quote. From the man, the myth, the legend himself, the great Bruce Lee. Probably one of my favorite quotes from him, but just understanding the power that water has. I think we know it. Next to oxygen, it's the most important thing that obviously we are putting in our bodies that we need to survive, in my opinion. And when you look at us in America specifically, we have it in abundance, and it's all around us. Most of the earth is actually made up of water, not just solid land. Most of us how much water is in the atmosphere actually, which we'll jump into later in the episode. But it's everything, and it's everywhere, and it's the lifeblood of us as humans, and we know that, but we take it for granted, for sure. Not only what it can give us in terms of like how we drink it, and because we have it at our fingertips, right? Like in your faucet, in your water bottles, in your shower, in your bathtub, in your pool, how you water your grass, lakes, the oceans, all the amazing stuff that we can do with it, and how some of us are specifically drawn to it. My wife loves it, whether it be a lake or an ocean. Anybody who's ever, had the benefit of, flying to, let's say, like Hawaii or overseas, and just see like this vast amount of water that is there. And obviously most of the water on the planet is salt water. It's pretty daunting, and to see the power it has of the ocean, just staring out into and be like, holy shit, these waves just keep coming and going. Or if you ever seen like a tsunami or these major storms where the ocean can just kind of like retract and suck things up, and it's a unique thing, and I know we know that, but again, we kind of just take it for granted, and the power that nature has in that. And as I share into this, I'm going to go into many different lanes of water here, but for you guys, it is vital for you to be drinking a shit ton of water every single day to look and move and feel your best. I cannot emphasize that enough. You have to be drinking water. If you're a person like, I don't like to, you have to. If nothing else, like the first thing in the morning or before you go to sleep, just bookend your days with it. Honestly, anytime you're doing exercise, and there's other things you can add into it, like to have it some flavoring, or some of the 0-calorie drinks that have flavoring to them, which the base of them is obviously water. But just drinking legit clean water has to happen every day. If you're not doing that, you're doing your body and your mind and your life a great disservice. I can promise you, sometimes there's days where I might just feel like shit, and I just pound a ton of water, and all of a sudden instantly I have energy. Instantly I just feel better, and my day just improves. As crazy as that sounds, dehydration can be that damaging, and I'll share kind of the pitfalls of that as we go. But if you've ever spent time, obviously, being dehydrated, then you understand the role that water plays in your life. However, what you may not know is that water's uncanny ability to help you burn fat and lose more weight and feel more youthful is real. And that's why I say, like, staying hydrated is key. Water is not only been shown obviously to fill you up, which can lead you to obviously a less calorie intake as you eat, but it's also been shown that it may increase fat oxidation or fat burning for you guys listening there. So you see, water has obviously 0 calories, which makes it a perfect drink to consume when you're trying to obviously lose weight or be lean. And not only that, but it's sugar-free, and it might aid in your weight loss and boosting fat burning in your body. And I'm gonna explain that here in a second. So obviously water and the increase in fat oxidation is what most of you probably care about, because when I look at all the podcasts we've done, which is well over 300, I think they're like almost like 350 at this point, which is crazy. So thank you guys obviously again for listening. But the fat loss ones tend to be the ones that you care about the most. They're the ones, these are typically the most boring for me to do, because this is all shit that I know. Although I do love doing the research and digging back in and rehashing stuff that I read, 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 years ago. But they're not the most fun for me, but apparently you guys get the most out of them, so we'll keep them coming. But a majority of your body obviously is made up of water, while the rest is comprised of, proteins, minerals, and some fats. So keeping adequately hydrated should be the first and foremost priority for you every single day. So if you're looking to improve your overall health, you guessed it, drink water, and drink a lot of it, 24/7, 365. However, most people consume, I would consider, moderate to high carbohydrate drinks instead of water, which has been shown to spike the hormone insulin, which if you guys are listeners to the podcast, you're familiar with insulin. If not, let's go down memory lane here again. Insulin, which helps shuttle sugar out of the blood and into the muscles, when increased, has been shown to shut down or decrease the enzymes which are responsible for fat breakdown. Obviously, if you guys are in a caloric surplus, this is most likely happening. However, since water obviously is sugar-free, this may prevent the insulin spike normally associated with the sugary drinks that you would have. If it is like an orange juice or grape juice or Mountain Dew or insert your caramel frappuccino, the sugary shit people grab at Starbucks in the morning, which you'd be better off just doing like a cold brew espresso and a water. And for a lot of people, if that's the swap you're making and that helps you get lean, that's a pretty easy fix. Although for some people, I just can't. No, you can do it. You're just choosing not to. And so for me, what I do routinely, again, if you're watching on YouTube, this is like, what is this, a 50 ounce? These Crystal Geyser waters. This is the second one I'm on today, and this one's almost completely gone. What I've been doing is I buy these at the store and then throw a couple in the fridge, and then as I'm driving to work, I'll typically crush almost the whole one on the way here. It takes me about, in the morning, it depends if it's early, maybe 13, 14, 15 minutes to get to work if I hit a stoplight, so it's not a ton of time. And I just basically drink water the whole way here because I tend to be thirsty in the morning, because obviously if I slept for 6, 7, 8 hours, I haven't put any fluid into my system, and I probably peed a couple times during the night. And so I'm not saying I'm dehydrated, but I'm probably creeping into the dehydrate range, especially if I start sweating in my sleep, because it's right now Scottsdale and Phoenix and Arizona in general are like Earth's oven. You put your head outside and it's like, you want to know what Arizona's like in the summertime? It's like, turn your oven on and then stick your head in there. That's what it feels like when you go outside during the day. Now the morning is still cool, like enough, like super early. The evening is okay. But as it gets into the early morning hours, I can take it. But the summertime is warm here for sure. It's a dry heat though, they say. But it's supposed to be like 116 this weekend. So I'll probably just jump in my pool and try to call it a day. But the point I'm driving at is we're trying to obviously increase fat burning for all of us. We all want to be the leanest, healthiest, sexiest versions of ourselves. So after a meal, fat burning is obviously naturally slowed or even shut down, depending on what we eat, due to obviously the enzymes breaking down the food particles in our stomach and the digestive system. However, utilizing water as your main drink at meals has been associated with a faster return to fat burning. Roughly, I don't know, everybody's gonna be different. Let's say 2 hours post-meal, right? Than when a sugary drink is consumed. So if you're having like a soda at dinner, or again, like I said, if you're at breakfast and you're doing these fruit juices, and I'm not vilifying fruit, but for a lot of you, when you're doing just the juice, it's dog shit. It's just sugar. Most of the nutrients are in the pit, the peel, and the pulp, for better or for worse. Obviously, there's exceptions to the rules for all these things, but most people drinking orange juice to start their day, it's a terrible choice. And obviously there's going to be more micronutrients in orange juice than say like a Coke, but in terms of sugar, it's pretty comparable. If you had to look, probably ounce per ounce. I could be off a little bit, but a 12-ounce serving of orange juice has to have damn near as much sugar as like a typical soda. And again, yes, there's going to be a micronutrient difference. There's no nutrients in a Coke. There's I'm assuming still some nutrients in like your orange juice, but you could get that without just the juice part of it, and you could get a lot more micros and a lot less sugar. So that's why I'm not a huge fan of the juices. If you go to the places where it's like a Nectar or Jamba Juice, just get the greens, man. Don't juice all the fruit. I honestly I like to eat fruit way more than I would like it in a juice anyway. Like I'd much rather eat an apple than like have them juice an apple. That's just me personally, and throw some peanut butter on that bad boy, because then it's legit. I don't know how you can eat an apple without peanut butter. Maybe with caramel on it, I suppose, but again, that kind of defeats the purpose. So the point I'm driving at is try to have water be what you eat with meals. And what I do more often than not is I'll pound water actually as I'm cooking or making stuff. I find that tends to help too, and I drink a ton of it. Now there's people who are going to say, oh, you shouldn't drink fluid with your meals, because I'm not subscribing to that. I'm a fan of just pumping in water anytime you can, and I'll live with, if there is any negative repercussions of drinking water as you chew your food and eat it, I'm totally okay with it. I've never had a problem with it. I'm a grown-ass man. It's never bothered me. And I find that I tend to make better food choices when I'm hydrated than when I'm dehydrated. Now, some studies that I can see here have shown that sugary drinks with your meals may prevent fat burning for as long as 6 hours post-meal, which seems like a really long time. But maybe that's, I guess because the enzymes are slowed because of breaking down food in the digestive system. I have to go into more detail here to find all the answers for that. But the point is, when you're eating, I think probably having water with your meal is ideal. Now, obviously, there's exceptions to the rules. Sure, it's the 4th of July, you're with your homies, you're having beer and brats. I get it, that's fine. Or you're gonna go out like for your one thing a week and have a beer and pizza or wine and pizza, that's cool. But on your normal Tuesday, I don't think that has to be the case. Like, you don't have to be pumping in a bunch of, not having a milkshake or sodas or all these things. Water is gonna be your best bet, and I'll always say that. So, if we're talking about 5 ways you can eat your water, I'm gonna give you guys some foods that can help throw water into your life. So again, I went over the quick hack of every time I drive to work, I slam this 50-ounce thing of water. There's gonna be a bunch of things that work for you guys. I personally find having water around in water bottles is the easiest way for me to make sure I do it. So in our office here, in our building, we have 2 refrigerators, and one of them is about 90% just filled with water bottles. Obviously, we have a water bottle refilling station here as well, which we can use, but I do feel like having it around, it's just I'm more likely to grab it, especially anytime I find I'm even a little bit thirsty. I just grab one and I just crush one of those little 16-ounce bottles, and I'm just good to go. So having those in your house, whether it be like a filter on your kitchen sink, or just like we keep gallons at our house too. So in our house, you open the fridge, we have a gallon of water always, and then typically a ton of smaller water bottles, and then I like the bigger ones as well. And then I fill my house with Gatorade Zeros, the Powerade Zeros, things that are water based. And I've seen people, and I think they even make like the water jugs now, where they have like a 24-hour clock on there. So like by 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you should have drinking this much water. We used to do that back in the day, like competing. I would drink, especially it depends on if you're like on peak week or however you do your prep for bodybuilding or physique, whatever you guys are into. We would have it on a gallon of water, and I would take, because it was back in the day we hadn't created these things yet, and I was super ghetto and dead broke, so I wasn't going to buy one anyway. But I would take your gallon of water with just a Sharpie and say, hey, by 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, here's how much you have to have drinking, and you can kind of see where you're at in terms of the day. And if you're behind, then you just chug the water and you keep it going. That's a nice way to remind you. Or like I do gratitude reminders on my phone, you could do a, hey, idiot, drink water reminder every like 4 hours on your phone to make sure you're at least, slamming a glass of water, 8 to 16 ounces every, 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever you have to do for your goals. I say most of you, the more water, the better. I would say minimum per day, at least 100 ounces. I think that's a good like bare minimum you should drink every day. But for some of you, if you're sweating more, you're bigger, an ounce per pound you weigh might not be a bad way. So if you weigh 130 pounds, 130 ounces, especially if you're sweating and exercising, I tend to go probably well north of 200 ounces every day, plus the Powerade Zeros, Gatorade Zeros, and I do drink a shit ton of coffee as well. And that's probably it. And then obviously if I want to live, dangerously, I'll have like a diet soda or something, or like, the rare occasion I'll be out by the pool, maybe have a beer, or like a whiskey, whether it be a Lagavulin or Monkey Shoulder or something like that. But anyways, most of the time, water is what I'm drinking every day. So at least 100 ounces. Some of you guys, much, much more if you can squeeze it in. So with that said, normally you'd think that water is only consumed by drinking it. However, some tips to remember about food that contain water. Most foods that contain large amounts of water will appear larger and fuller compared to foods that have very little water content. Secondly, water-filled foods may take you longer to chew, therefore tricking your body into thinking you've actually eaten more than you actually have, which again is another nice little hack. Third, the more water in food, that may translate into more water in your stomach, therefore filling you up, which could prevent you from overeating. Any little hack we can do to make us not be so hangry and pissed and put shit in our body, I think we should take full advantage of it. So some of the best water sources that can be eaten. Number 1, watermelon. Watermelon obviously is full of vitamin C, beta carotene, and it's also about 95% water, which is super dope. So enjoying, obviously, this is a summertime snack or year-round, I believe is well worth it. And if you get like a legit watermelon, they are amazing. Highly addicted. I don't eat it as often because I'm too lazy to cut it and make it, but I might actually grab one today. So not only do you get a high content of water, but you also get calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium, which makes it a great snack for replenishing the body of lost nutrients after a workout. So i.e. post-workout with your protein, I think is a great time to have it. Besides having plenty of water, vitamins, minerals, watermelon is also a naturally occurring sugar. So only 8%, which is much lower than the juices or the sugary drinks. So I'm a huge fan of watermelon myself. I also do like watermelon Jolly Ranchers, which have no water in them and no nutrients, just sugary bullshit. But hey, you gotta live a little bit too, right? Number 2, tomatoes. Most people, tomatoes are used as a vegetable to top on salads or sandwiches or other meals. I use it for ketchup. I don't like the texture of tomatoes, but my wife loves them. However, what you may not know is that tomatoes are actually a fruit. Mind blown here. And they actually contain a ton of water. Tomatoes are about 90% water, which makes them a perfect food to rehydrate you at any meal of the day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or some people who just put like salt and pepper on them and eat them as a snack. You guys are crazy, but you're getting water in, and it's an amazing fruit, not a vegetable. They're also filled with antioxidants, and they have been shown to benefit eye and heart health. I think, was it lycopene or lycopene? Is that how you say it? I forget. I think that's the biggest antioxidant tomatoes have. Somebody message me and correct me if I'm just talking shit here, which I do. I talk a lot of shit, but I think that is correct. Plus, tomatoes have a healthy serving of vitamin A, C, potassium, and which obviously are all vital nutrients for you, improving all the cells in your body. So it's a win-win all around. It's best to cook this fruit or include it with like a healthy fat. A lot of people, obviously olive oil, they do like some of the things I mentioned, which obviously it can improve the absorption of the lycopene of the body. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correct, but you guys will go, I believe I spell it Lycopene, I believe is the correct spelling there. And again, I spell like a 7th grader, so fair warning, Google will fix it. Thank God we have things like that where I type. Sometimes, the crazy thing is sometimes I type in things so wrong, like on emails and stuff, it doesn't even fix it for me. Like that's when you know it's bad. Like, again, I'm super intelligent in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of ways where, man, I am like a 4th grader where it's like I type in the word and I'm like, man, if Google can't even fix my misspellings, I know I'm in trouble. Anyways, number 3, radishes, which immediately I never eat, but radishes have water. By far, radishes are one of the most underutilized vegetables in the market today, by myself included. They're not only packed with vitamins and minerals, but they're also 95% water. Radishes are a low-calorie food, 19 calories in 1 cup, which is very minimal, which makes them perfect for obviously weight loss and fat loss if that is the goal. Not only are radishes perfect for boosting your hydration levels, but they're also chock full of vitamin C, potassium, folate, and fiber to keep things moving smoothly in your digestive tract, which none of us like to be constipated. I know I don't. It's one of my most hated things. If I had a list of 10 most hated things, not being able to take a nice poop would be definitely on the list. So do yourself a favor and try topping maybe your salad with this hearty, different tasting root that not only boosts your water intake, but provides your body with a low-calorie, nutrient-dense food source. Man, I'm not a huge radish fan. Some people love them, but just know it's a great way to get water, and they're often forgotten. In fact, before I did the research for this podcast, I didn't even really think about them. Next on the list, kale, which admittedly I think tastes like butt. So I'm not a huge kale fan. My wife will eat it more often than not. Sometimes we'll go places, she'll get like a kale salad with things on there. But she also likes arugula. I don't like arugula either. I'm not a huge fan. I'm much more a spinach fan than kale, because I don't think kale tastes good. And sometimes we get these little kale chips and like, oh, try these. I'm like, no, man, I'll take some Doritos instead. I just never got down with the taste of kale. You know how some people like certain things? My wife likes kale, arugula, and like the apple cider kind of vinegars. And I think all those things are disgusting, personally. But hey, yin and yang, we work together apparently. So in terms of kale, the green leafy vegetable is abundant and bursting with flavors in the colder climates. The vegetable is 80% water and can easily replace some of the more popular leafy greens if you don't want to go like the spinach route, which I prefer, or the cabbage route. If you want to change up the nutrition on your plate, kale is packed with essential vitamins and minerals. Again, it is great for you. It's a dark leafy green. Most of you guys have seen it. Obviously, we know vitamins, minerals, micronutrients are needed to fight off colds and flus, which run rampant in the colder months. That's why I mention it in the colder climates. Again, or right now when the world is, got a virus and a bunch of shit running around. I think that the more greens you can put in your life, the better. Side note, if you guys want to check out Athletic Greens, hit me up. I'll send you a link for 20 free travel packs. And again, I think right now, did I bring a box in here today? I think I have a box of Athletic Greens here. So I probably have 10 packs I can send out to you guys who are like, well, Jeremy, I want to try it, but I'm not sure. Message me as soon as humanly possible. I'll put your name on the list. Monica will send you a pack right to your front door, and then we'll send you the link for the 20 free. But I promise you guys, the best way to get into micronutrients, because you're not going to eat enough greens. None of us ever do, especially the dark leafy ones like kale, because they don't taste great. But it's a great way to make sure you're covering your bases. And how you take Athletic Greens, you dump a bunch of water into a shaker bottle and throw the greens in there. So now, boom, vitamins, minerals, micros, and water all in one. But back to kale. What you're going to find in kale is a healthy dose of vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, plus minerals like potassium, iron, and calcium. I think obviously there's research that's shown that kale contains like the phytochemical called, sulforaphane, which can be linked to a reduction in cancer as well, which is pretty badass. Anytime you can get something that can help you fight against cancer, which I think is, one of the biggest, pieces of shit that's ever existed, I think you're in good company. So that's why I always say, eat real food, protein, produce, and water, and the more greens you can put in your life, the better. I don't just say that to say that, you guys, because I truly believe it. And again, I have a hard time eating a ton of greens. And so I'm saying it partially as a reminder to myself, but all of it to you, because I do believe it's that important. So in terms of kale, you can saute it, probably with some garlic and some olive oil for a tasty green little side dish. Or obviously, you can use it for your salad and throw some protein on there, and it's, ideal as well if you're into kale. And the last one on the list, real quick, cucumbers. Which cucumbers, a lot of times people often forget, but cucumbers are the 4th most widely grown and harvested vegetable, I believe, in America. This could be on the planet too, I'm not sure. But anyways, people love cucumbers. They're chock full of water. 97% of a cucumber is just water, in fact. The veggie is perfect to be topped on salads, sandwiches, for a little quick boost of water and plenty of healthy nutrition. We can sometimes at our house, we'll chop them up, use them as like chips. You can dip them in like guacamole. You can dip them in like a Bolt House ranch, which that's a yogurt-based ranch, which is like 45 calories per tablespoon, so way less than like a normal ranch. It's not gonna taste like Cheesecake Factory Ranch or Hidden Valley for my people in the Midwest, but Bolt House Ranch is pretty dope for what it is. And so we will use them as like chips. So to keep me from eating like Doritos and tortilla chips, is it as good? No, but it helps you look like a rock star and it's good for you. So that's what I do it. But cucumbers contain vitamin A, C, B5, also minerals such as potassium, magnesium, and they're very low in calories. So you can eat a ton of them and it really doesn't mess with your day. So for a quick water-filled snack on some cucumbers. And if you want to go crazy, throw in some tomatoes between slices of some Ezekiel bread with some turkey and some avocado. Boom. Now you got a sexy ass sandwich and you got a ton of water in your day too. Just an idea. So obviously, make sure you guys are getting enough water, because water is a key nutrient to your overall health and wellness. And by including water in every meal, it'll be shown to fill you up, hopefully prevent you from overeating, and maybe even increase some fat burning along the way, which is pretty badass, which is the goal for all of us. Real quick, obviously, I'm telling you guys to drink more water. Just some real quick facts about water. The average human body is made up of 50 to 65% water, which is pretty amazing. Also, newborn babies have even more. They are made up of 78% water for all the newborn babies out there. Water covers about 70.9% of the planet's surface. So like I said, there's much more water on the earth than just solid land. Did you also know there's more water in the atmosphere than all of the rivers combined? That is insane. If all the water in our planet's atmosphere fell as water at once, it would spread out evenly and it would only cover the globe with about an inch of water. That is actually insane to read that. There are some crazy facts here. In a year, the average American resident uses over 100,000 gallons of water. That's insane. And a running toilet can waste up to 200 gallons of water each day. And at 1 drip per second, a faucet can leak 3,000 gallons of water per year. And did you know, a bath uses up to 70 gallons of water, and a 5-minute shower uses 10 to 25 gallons of water. Those are all crazy little facts. But real quick, obviously, I'm going to mention this before I go. Dehydration is one of the most common preventable medical conditions in the world, and it affects obviously millions of people. In the US for sure, because a lot of people in the US are not healthy. Yet it's something so common, and most of us are unaware of its dangers, but here are a few things to know. Number one, 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. A survey of 3,000 Americans found that 75% of people likely had a net fluid loss resulting in chronic dehydration. Although the survey found that Americans drink about 8 servings of hydrating beverages per day, it is offset by drinking caffeinated beverages and alcohol and eating a diet high in sodium. That's why I say, you guys, the more water you can put into your life, the better. So please pound it all day, every day. Number 2, dehydration causes fatigue. There's a pair of recent studies that found that young people who are mildly dehydrated were much more likely to feel fatigued during moderate exercise, even when sedentary. Unsurprisingly, fatigue is a common dehydration symptom, and it's said to be the #1 cause of midday fatigue. So if you're dragging ass in the middle of the day, it might just not be because you're bored or you need a caffeine kick in the face. It might be you need to drink yourself some damn water. So make it happen. Number 3, thirst means you're dehydrated. Ding ding. If nobody knew, welcome. Dehydration triggers the body's thirst response. So when you feel thirsty, dehydration is already setting in. In many experiments, just 1 to 2% dehydration is shown to trigger thirst. This level of dehydration can quickly happen, especially following intense exercise or when battling viruses. So as they say, make sure you're getting in your fluids. And when they say that, they mean make sure you're getting in your water. Number 4, dehydration causes foggy memory, irritability, and more. And nobody wants you to be an irritable asshole, so keep drinking water, folks. Dehydration, even mild dehydration, has been shown to put stress on our cognitive functioning mind. In younger adults, for instance, dehydration is linked to a dip in concentration and short-term memory, as well as an increase in feelings of anxiety and irritability. With children, studies are more conclusive that hydration can improve attention and memory. And who doesn't want to have a better attention span and a better memory? Drink water, folks. Number 5, hydration can boost your metabolism. Although the evidence is limited, your metabolism could benefit from drinking cold water. In fact, one study found that drinking cold water helped boost healthy men and women's metabolic rate by 30%. What? That is badass. Again, just another reason to put water into your life. The researchers concluded that the body expended more energy heating the cold water, which resulted in a boost in metabolism. So the takeaway, wake up every day, drink your ass some cold water, start fat burning like a rock star. And then the last one, dehydration is one of the most common risks of kidney stones. Ugh, I've never passed a kidney stone, but I would imagine it's like kind of like having a baby through your penis, which seems even more traumatic than a woman having a baby for us dudes, because dudes are soft, women are badasses, we are not. We're not equipped to have kids, so you don't want to be having anything go out your penis that's not supposed to go out there, especially a kidney stone. A landmark 1990 study examined the cause of kidney stones in more than 700 patients. Chronic dehydration caused by a variety of factors is believed to be a factor in about 20% of the cases. More recently, researchers have examined the length more in depth. In one 5-year randomized trial, patients with kidney stones were told to drink more water, which resulted in a drop in the kidney stone reoccurrence. So the takeaway here of all those things, dehydration is terrible, being hydrated is awesome. How do you do that? You drink water all day, every day. You make it a priority. You put a reminder on your phone. You just make it a habit, ritual, and routine, and you live a healthier lifestyle. Have better cognitive energy, be more focused, look better, your skin, everything. Just feel good. And just know an easy way to tell when you guys go to the bathroom, if you pee and it's clear or close to clear, you're probably doing okay. If you pee and it looks like battery acid is coming out, it shouldn't look like Coca-Cola in the toilet. It should look relatively clear. That's a nice little easy hack for you guys. That's not scientific, that's just common sense. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. The takeaway, drink more water and be water, my friends. So again, all stuff you guys probably know, but again, just something fun to listen to hopefully drill home. If you find yourself being guilty of not drinking enough and you find yourself like dragging ass or not being able to, just concentrate and function, or your workouts suck, it could be not because you got terrible sleep and not because, obviously if you're sleeping like crap and eating like crap, that's probably the culprit too. But if you find you're sleeping okay and your diet's pretty good, but you still feel like you have no energy and you're dragging ass, drink water, and even more of it than you think you need to. I think that might be, an easy little fix. And if it can help you burn fat and look like a rock star, who doesn't want to look, sexy as hell naked and feel good every day and have their skin, look vibrant and alive? I know I do. So again, you guys, appreciate you as always. Any requests for the podcast, shoot me a message, hit me up. And obviously if you're on iTunes right now, stop. Don't be a lazy ass. Go to your podcast app, scroll your finger all the way down, drop me a 5-star, leave a couple comments on our ratings and reviews. Same thing if you're on your MacBook or your iPad, go to the iTunes icon, click ratings and reviews, 5-star me, share this with a friend or family member who does not drink enough water, but they need to because it is good for their life and it can prevent all kinds of terrible shit from happening and help them be healthier, which who would not want to be healthier in a time like this or any time of life? Because you only got one body, dude, and it comes with you everywhere you go. So try to make it look and move and feel its best. Just makes your life better. So I appreciate you guys. Any questions for me on water, the Arbor Thread stuff, athletic greens, Tupac trivia, whatever it is, hit me up. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can speak on. So I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing rest of your Saturday. Stay safe, stay sweaty. Got a ton of fun stuff coming for you down the pipe. And again, reminder, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you guys do that. About 1,300 videos there, all for free for you, just like the podcast is, to help you get and stay fit, hopefully for life. So until next time, eat well, train hard, be nice to people, and please, you guys, keep doing shit you love with people you enjoy because your life is too short not to. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.